When you look at me, what do you see? I'll tell you what you see. Failure. And you're right, this is true. What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Diary of a Broke to Rich YouTuber. If you're just making your way here and just hitting that subscribe button, I'm Lorenzo James, and this here is where I document my life going from broke to rich live on this channel, and you get to see the entire journey. And if you're just making your way here, once again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, baby, because we're on the road to 10K, and we can't get to 10K if you don't hit that subscribe button. But today, as you see in the title, I want to talk about something a little different. We're back for another confessional as we continue the Project 30 challenge. You guys know, 30 days, 30 ways to be creative. And because of unfortunate circumstances, we're in the house right now for a lot of this. So I'm bringing you back another confessional where I want to talk about failure. Now, I want to start off with a poem that my science teacher from high school actually sent over to me a few days ago. Now, I don't know why she chose to send this at this point in time, but it came in the right time right now. And this was a poem that I actually wrote in high school in 2007, actually spring 2007. And the poem is called Failure. When you look at me, what do you see? I'll tell you what you see. Failure. And you're right, this is true. I have failed to become a statistic. I have failed to become just another nigga. Yeah, another nigga. I have failed to be a part of the system. I have failed to be a hoodlum. I have failed to be a bum. I have failed to be a junkie. But I haven't failed myself. I am smart. I am strong. I am black. And I am not a failure. You know, after reading that over, I couldn't help but get a little emotional. Because to think that that's how I felt in high school, and now to look now at where I am today, and to realize, deep down inside, I do feel like a failure. And I mean, yeah, my self-esteem comes from within, but I can also say that the people in my life, the people around me, haven't helped with that as well. Now, I would say that it all started when I left college. I unfortunately left college due to some unfortunate circumstances and dropped out. And I always said I was gonna go back and told my parents that I was gonna go back, but unfortunately I never did. And I felt from that point, from that moment when I dropped out of college and never went back, I felt like my mother looked at me like a failure. Like I felt like that was something that she really wanted for me. She wanted me to graduate college. She wanted me to have my degree. And because of life, and it just didn't work out that way for me. At least not at that moment, not as of yet. But I felt like from that moment on, her view of me was just different. And when I came back from college, I just took a lot of just random ancillary jobs, working from different temp agencies, just doing different things, warehousing jobs to data entry administrative jobs, but nothing that really said that I was going for a career path. It was just these miscellaneous jobs that I would take from month to month to month to month, just bouncing around from jobs. And I can understand why maybe she viewed that in a different light than I did. But during that time, my friends actually started making music, and they entrusted me with the idea of managing them and trying to help them get to the next level of where they were trying to go with their music. And I did that for almost a decade, and let's just say they didn't get the results that they wanted or that I thought that they could have. And failure number 2 for me. Just another thing that I was a part of that just didn't have any success. Then it came to just my employment opportunities, and you start to realize that you're not moving up in the corporate world, you're not moving up in any employment world. In fact, you're just continuing to do these ancillary jobs. You're not getting anything different because you don't have a degree. You're doesn't look, unfortunately, doesn't help the circumstances. And it can be a little disheartening for someone to make them feel like maybe they are a failure in life. But still, I continue to just proceed, continue to progress, continue to try to be better. And 2016 came. 2016 was a big year for me. You see, 2016 was an interesting year. It started off with, just a lot of growth in my financial areas. I got a new car, things were just clicking for me. My job at the time that I had, where I was working at a construction company, was doing good. Everything was just working. The summer came, it was just fun and friends. The music that we were doing seemed like it was starting to gain some traction at this point in time, and then I went homeless. At the end of 2016, October 31st, Halloween to be exact, I went homeless and started living out of my car, living on people's couches, just bouncing around. Shout out to my cousin Judge for allowing me to stay on his couch, my Uncle Courtney for allowing me to stay at his place, my grandfather for allowing me to stay at his couch for some time, and just bouncing around, just trying to figure it out. Now, in that time, I felt, once again, like a failure. But, most people in my life know me as the confident guy, the happy guy, the guy that's always uplifting everyone else. So I have to be, the uplifting guy outside. I can't sit with my thoughts. I can't feel like a failure. So, I tried to just keep going, keep pushing. And I'm thankful for that time, because in that time, I wrote my first script. I wrote my first movie script, where I decided, I figured out exactly what I want to be doing with my life. I figured it out. And then things started to come together. A few months later, I moved back in with my parents, and things started to look like it started flowing. I got a new job. Everything was just flowing again. Started getting I started acting school, and that was going good for me. I started to feel good again. And then started getting some roles. I got my first role in 2019. I got my first role in 2019, which was just a short film, just a minor short film, but it was a good feeling to be a part of that role. And then 2020, it just started to flow. The roles just started coming in, and then the what happened in 2020. And I lost my job, and things just started to slow down. But I didn't feel like a failure, I felt like it was a good time for me. I got on YouTube, I started creating the Handsome Investor channel, and I decided to put together and officially write a book that, as you've seen from the last video, I've been working on for over a decade, DEIANIRA. And I got that book published, got that book put out, and once I got it finished written, I started to feel good again. I did. But then the results from the book sales came back. And still till this day right now, and I released my first book in 2021. We are now in 2024. I have still yet to sell over 100 copies of that book. Not even 100. Now, I know I have well over 100 friends, well over 100 family members. I even have well over 100 subscribers on this channel. Yet I was not able to sell 100 books. And that's when the feeling of being a failure comes back in again. You feel like you wrote something that was just amazing, that you put your heart in, that you put everything in, and to see it not get the recognition it deserves can be disheartening. Not only that, to see that the people that you care about in your life, the people that you love in your life, the people that are in your life, you feel like they haven't bought, read, promoted, or even supported the book in any way, makes you start to think about yourself. Like, maybe you aren't as great as you think you are. Maybe this book isn't as good as you think it is. maybe you think too highly of yourself. These are the things that start to flow into my head, which makes me start to second guess myself again. But, you know, at the time, I had a partner who assisted and made me feel somewhat better in the moment, that I tried to push past that. And, you know, just continue to just work, put my head down and work and not focus on the results. So then I started writing the second book, and I figured, you know what? Maybe when the second book comes out, it'll be able to bring some recognition to the first book. But the results were more of the same. The second book actually sold less copies than the first book, which meant that more family members decided not to read the second version of the book. People that I expected to read the book never even chose to pick up the book and look at it. And you start to wonder why that is. Is it because they just don't want to support you? Is it because they don't care? Or is it because they don't want to tell you that you're just not what you think you are? You're just not as good as you think you are. And that's when the feeling of failure can come back again. But you know what? You try to push through it. You try to say, that, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe you just gotta keep working. Maybe you just gotta keep promoting. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not doing enough to get these things out there. So let me just keep pushing. So then I started the prep series, as you guys seen on my channel. And I thought, you know what? This is what's gonna do it. This is gonna take off on the channel. I'm being consistent on YouTube. I'm posting videos at a consistent rate. I'm allowing people into my life a little more. They're not getting my full personality, but they're getting a little bit more in depth with me. I'm creating videos that people would want to see. I'm thinking that I'm putting my all into these videos, and 50, 40, 20 views. Shout out to all 20 of y'all who still support until this day. My videos are getting averaging at about 50 views right now. So all 50 of you who actually are watching the videos, thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys don't know how far this goes, but 50 views on all those videos, not seeing any kind of viral activity, not seeing any type of subscriber increase, anything. You start to wonder, well, do people even want to see me? Do people even care what I have to say? Do people care at all? And it can get to you. It can really, really get to you. And then you have social media. So now with all these things happening in my life, not increasing the way I wanted to, you look on social media and you see everybody else's life's increasing. You see everybody doing the things you want to do. Everybody enjoying their lives. Now I know social media is a highlight reel, but even their highlight reel looks way more appealing than mine. I don't even have a highlight reel, which just starts to increase that feeling of feeling like a failure within yourself. Like, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not good enough. And then you have people in your life telling you, well, you should be more further. You should be doing this. You have significant others telling you that they deserve this and they deserve that. And at this point in their lives and at this point in the relationship, you should be doing more than what you're doing. It all can pile up on you and make you feel like less of a person, less of a man, and just like a complete failure. Like there's nobody that can see the good that I'm doing because I'm not doing good enough for anybody, not even for myself. You start to lose just the appreciation for just the little things that you have. You can't even appreciate anything because you're so focused on all that you don't have. And I've spent a long time in that mind space. I spent a long time in that mind space. Just focusing on the negatives in my life, just focusing on the things that I don't have, what I can't do, what I'm not doing, all the things that I failed at, all the people that look at me like a failure, all the people that I failed. And you forget to see the good in yourself. You forget to see that you're not a failure. In fact, you forget to see how far you came. You forget to even look at some of the things that you've done most people will never do in their life. Never. And you let the world dictate your feelings and the way you feel about yourself. That's not the way to be. Friends should not determine how you feel about yourself. Friends should not determine how you feel about your life choices. Family should not determine how you feel about yourself. Family should not determine how you feel about your life choices. And your significant other should not determine how you feel about yourself, nor how you feel about your life choices. And yet I've allowed each one of them to do that for me. I have. Which has allowed me to view myself as a failure for a very, very, very long time. Something I don't speak about, something I don't talk about, something I keep in because, yeah, most people know me as the happy friend, the conceited friend, the friend that thinks too much of himself. I have God's gift tattooed on my chest. So I can't show weakness. I can't show signs of unhappiness, of uncertainty. I can't. What I can say though is the people that do support the things that I do, the people that do make me feel like I'm not a failure, I'm thankful for. I'm appreciative of. My father, who I know sometimes wonders what his son is doing, but still supports everything I'm doing and just tells me to keep going at it. I know he may not agree with some of my choices, but still just tells me to keep going. I appreciate that. The friends that do support, that do promote, that do comment and like, I'm appreciative of them. The ones that hold me down still, check on me to make sure that I'm good, I appreciate them. Tina, who bought 50 copies of my first book, bought me this bracelet with the inscribing IBIU, I believe in you. I'm appreciative of her as well, Even though, like I said before about these significant others playing a part in sometimes how you may feel, she has also played a part in making me feel better about myself as well. So I'm appreciative of that. I'm appreciative. The people that support, the people that bought my book, people that promoted my book. I'm appreciative. And every one of you who watch these videos, you guys are the ones that make me feel like I'm not a failure. I can't feel like that anymore. I can't. I'm not a failure. And I want to thank my science teacher, Miss Taylor, for sending me this poem. You may not know what this meant to me. You may not know what this poem did for me and how it helped at this moment in time. You may not know, but I want to thank you because it reminded me of who I am. It reminded me that I'm not a failure. It reminded me that even though some things are not working in my favor right now, it doesn't mean that it can't turn around. I've seen so many people say that your life can change in just 1 year. And I plan to put my head down, get to work, continue being focused, and I plan to see my life change in 1 year. As I said, this is the Diary of a Broke, Too Rich YouTuber. I am not a failure. But guys, I want to thank each and every one of you that stuck around to this point and watched this entire confessional. These confessionals are like therapy sessions for me, so I want to thank all of you for helping me get through this therapy session. But we're gonna keep this going, man. The Project 30 challenge does not end here. We are going to keep this going. Despite how I may feel, despite the things that are happening in my life right now, I'm not quitting. So stay tuned for another video. We are gonna keep it going, baby. But like I said, I wanna thank each and every one of you for all of your support. Remember, we are on the road to 10K challenge, baby. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that bell to stay notified on all future videos. And share this video with a friend. Somebody who feels like a failure, let them know that they aren't. Share this video with them and let them know it's time to keep going. It's time to get out that dark place and it's time to get to work. The sunlight is on the other side. Let's go, baby. But guys, once again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll see y'all in a bit. Let's get it.